I don't know how the community goes along with these nerfs and doesn't mind at all. Is this not the same community that constantly complains about passive players, and then they remove every avenue for you to fight against passive players? I was facing this Locust guy in ranked, and he realized he was losing to me in M1 trades, so he just started running away. And to some degree, I don't even blame him, because there's no other option for people whenever they can't win against you in M1 trades. There are 5 characters that don't just dwell on M1 trading the entire time. Yuta, Yuki, Choso, Megami, Mekamaru, those 5. And if you aren't using those 5 and you lose to somebody in M1 trades and you can't like adapt in a way that'll bridge the gap in that short amount of time, you lose. You can't do anything about it. It's the most infuriating thing about this game, how 9 of the 14 characters in this game don't have options outside of M1 trading. And I don't understand why the community doesn't complain about this more, because if you are one of those 9 characters and you can't out M1 trade somebody, does that feeling of hopelessness not just seep in? Does it not feel hopeless against those other people? If my character is better than you when it comes to neutral, but also me as a player I'm better than you when it comes to M1 trading, how does it not feel completely hopeless, like you have no other options but to lose? This, for one, is why I don't play those 9 characters that don't have neutral options. This is why I stick to those 5, because if my opponent has the superior skill in the M1 trades, I just lose. There's no way for me to make a comeback during that match outside of a miraculous adaptation I make. My options are so limited on these characters that have no neutral tools. So why would I ever play them? Let's go back to that Locust guy ranked match I had. During that ranked match, I was using Mahito. Mahito's neutral isn't like pathetic or anything, but it's at its best when the opponent is forced to approach you, because Mahito's moves don't allow him to chase, but also put down effective damage. If you as the Mahito have to chase your opponent, you don't really have many options available. Stockpile doesn't really have that much range, plus it requires you to side dash in first, meaning you're wasting your movement tool. This allows the opponent to side dash in and gain priority themselves. Even if they don't hit you directly, they still hit your block, and you're blocking without a side dash. That's a horrible place to be, especially against characters like Locust and Gojo. Rapid punches and wing throw are just going to hit you immediately, and you can't do much about them. So if some guy just wants to play passive on Locust, what other options do these characters have? It's why it just blows my mind why these testers go out of their way every single update to nerf something related to neutral. Luckily in this update, they kind of buffed Gojo's teleport, which is, it's a pretty good neutral tool, so I don't mind it. It's really good at punishing side dashes, because then your opponent is forced into that one situation I said before, where the opponent is forced to block without a side dash. But just go to some previous update logs and you'll see. There are so many times where the end lag of a move is increased on block in a way to sort of reduce a character's ability in neutral. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks it feels so hand-holdy, as if the players can't play the game and understand it for themselves. Things like Severing Path, causing you to knock back the opponent or the Yuta, I don't remember which one. Things like Crushing Jaws, now completely stopping if the opponent is blocking it. Things like increasing the end lag on Ultra Spin. Things of that nature. It's just like, why can't the players themselves find out counterplay instead of it being nerfed every single time? That's why I don't mind decisive strikes the way that it is right now. The fact that you can avoid it basically every time if you have a side dash available. And now a player with more game knowledge, with more character knowledge, is going to wait until the opponent uses their side dash to then punish them for doing it with indecisive strikes. I like that way more than the testers or the balancers just going in and saying, you can no longer avoid decisive strikes no matter what. It's horrible. And to go along with this point of buffs and nerfs and whatnot, I don't know why the developers are so hesitant to give meaningful buffs and nerfs to characters in the game. Actually, let me not say nerfs, because they love to nerf characters in this game. When it comes to killing Higuruma, they're in there rubbing their hands together. They're all ready to pull the trigger on him. But when it comes to helping Gojo, when it comes to helping Locust or Toto become not side dash M1 merchants, that's all they can do, now they're gonna restrain themselves. I said this in the Mekamaru video, but every single update, the power level of the game just drops every time, because there's always gonna be nerfs. I don't understand it. Every single update must bring about 50 billion nerfs, and it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing to experience, because what happens every time now is that people dread the next update, especially if they main like a strong character. They dread the next update because they know their character might just be on the chopping block. They might just be dead. It's not like you can't nerf characters either. I think it's great for the meta. I think it's hilarious that Higuruma just got shot and killed up for no reason. But there's no buffs in return. There's nobody getting elevated. There's always a character getting over nerfed, but I don't think there's ever been a case in this game where a character has been over buffed. If your character wasn't top tier on release, they're not gonna be top tier ever. And don't talk to me about Locust or Charles, they were never top tier. Lowering the versatility of characters isn't just an issue for people, because they don't like playing bad characters, but also because it lowers the overall versatility of characters in the game. Like for example with Mahito, I'd feel more inclined to use Soul Fire in neutral if it wasn't so punishable. I'd feel more inclined to use Body Repel in neutral if it wasn't so slow. Having no versatility in your kit sucks because no good player is going to willingly enter a bad situation. So now we're jumping up and down looking stupid at each other and it's not fun in the slightest. But that's the end of that. Let me talk about something else. I might make a dedicated video soon on what composites neutral. No promises though, don't hold me to that. The rest of the update was probably good. I don't really mess with the skill builder or anything, but I can imagine this is stuff that's useful to other players. What I don't like though is the fact that the last hit of M1 now also adds evasive gain. It's like, come on, like, does everything have to be removed from the game? Every single little technique people have? It's like every update in this game removes some kind of skill expression. The developers want the game to play so one note and one dimensional all the time. It's so boring. In the same update log, they make it so you can't combo extend with Mahito's blade dash if the opponent is stunned. They made it so the opponent gets invincibility during Yuta's severing path. Just more ways of making the game more and more one-dimensional and boring. Because really, what does this achieve? All this does is make the game more and more boring to play. It reduces the skill level. If you had the prerequisite knowledge, you could punish the Yuta for using his Haymaker during his aerial severing path because then you could evasive during the move and punish him for it. Haymaker during severing path, whether it's grounded or aerial, was never a true combo. There were absolutely ways to reversal it, and instead of letting the community themselves figure this out and actually play the game for themselves, they decided to just remove it completely. I said this before, but it feels so hand-holdy. And in addition, it makes the game so monotonous competitively as well. Because every match you're gonna know is the same thing. If you're better at M1 trading, you win. And that's just so boring. There needs to be more to a 1v1, otherwise it's just not as engaging as it should be. And it's not living up to the potential that it could have. That's all from me talking. I just want to say that I still like this game, even though I find the combat really boring at times, especially at a higher level, but still, I think this game is really fun. Make sure to like and subscribe and stuff. Also, I promise to upload more often. On everyone's soul, I'm uploading within a week.